If you're a young guy, this is probably going to be one of the most important videos that you're ever going to see in your entire life. So I suggest you sit down and really pay attention because this is going to probably change your life and the way you look at the world. I want to talk about something real for a moment because this is not a conversation that I think your parents are going to have with you and a lot of your friends are going to have with you, but I think that you need to have this conversation, and I think it's something that you need to really understand at an early age. And I'm talking about going out and hooking up with girls. Look, going out on the town as a young guy and bringing a girl back, we glamorize it. It's a victory. It's a dub. It feels good. And all your boys are going to look at you like, yo, you're the man. And even the girl is going to be like, wow, that was really fun. Everything seems like it's going to be absolutely perfect until it's not. Let me tell you something. Going out and hooking up with a girl is probably one of the riskiest things that you can do in your life. Physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, and real talk, legally. Here's the truth backed by stats. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this. If you don't know me, my name is Sumi. I'm a life coach. I work with people all over the world. And if you want to follow me, check out the YouTube bell notification. Click the link down below if you want to work with me. But real talk, this is a serious topic, and I really want to get through to you on this. So that can all wait. Did you know that over 45% of sexual assault cases involve people that have met the same day or the same night? And get this, over 84% of college students that said they regretted a hookup said that it happened after a night of drinking. So let's break this whole thing down, not emotionally, but logically. Look, we live in a world where consent is not just verbal. It's situational, it's emotional, and low-key, it's retrospective. Consent is not consent. You might think that you're in the clear because she's laughing and she's having a good time and everything is wonderful, but that is really just not how it works. So I want you to understand that a night of poor decisions can lead to a lifetime of consequences. And you might think like, false accusations, they never happen, but yeah, they do. They 100% do. They happen all the time, every day, to people just like you and me. And studies show that between 2 to 10% of reported sexual assaults are false. Now, that might seem like a small percentage, but that's still thousands of lives that are being ruined by poor judgment in vulnerable moments and sometimes just by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm not here to say that sexual assault should not be taken seriously. I'm not here to say that people that assault people sexually should not be jailed, should not be fined, should not be penalized, should not be put in the worst circumstances ever. I think it's the worst thing that you can do to somebody. And as someone that has been a victim of sexual abuse, I can tell you that it ruined my life for multiple years and it really changed the way I looked at the world. I think that people that commit crimes like this are the worst of the worst. But at the same time, there is a bracket of people that are very innocent. And there is a bracket of people that get accused falsely, and you can be one of those victims if you continue to go out, party, bring girls back and hook up with them. Look, lust clouds logic. Let me talk about it here. Oxytocin is a bonding hormone. It's released during sex. It's especially released for women, but it's also released for men. When you are having sex with somebody, your body thinks that you're about to have a baby with them. For men and women, I'm just keeping it real. And obviously for women, it's a little bit more intense because they're going to get pregnant and they're going to have 9 months, but it doesn't understand there's over 41 types of contraception, including, if you want to count it, pulling out and abortion. So your body doesn't get it. And it's going through this biological process where it's trying to form an attachment with someone that you barely know. And that's just biology, not romance. So you don't even have to like this person. If you just keep having sex with them over and over again, or just one time, you're gonna start forming an attachment, and it's really gonna mess your body up. And it's gonna mess something up called pair bonding, which you actually need when you start a relationship. If you have a ton of hookups over a period of time, you're going to ruin your ability to form genuine connections with somebody, for men and women, especially for women. So it permanently damages your ability to be a good partner to somebody in the future. And when you're just meeting a girl, hooking up with her, and then tossing her to the side, you are training your body and your mind and your whole philosophy to basically use women, discard them, and let them go. So this might not matter to you. It might seem cool. It might be like, yo, this is what it is. But when you actually try to have a family, you're going to find yourself wanting more, lusting more. Your entire family, and then you got child support and you got alimony, and you lose half your property and your house and everything like that, and your entire life is fucked because you couldn't keep it in your pants. Also, waking up the next day after you hook up with a girl, this shit sucks. I'm keeping it real with you. The next day anxiety, the confusion, the regret, it's a chemical crash from the dopamine high. You're hungover, you don't even know this girl. She's in your bed. Like, it's the worst thing in the entire world. And more than anything, you just want your space to yourself. So first and foremost, it fucks up your morning. It fucks up your productivity. And more than anything else, it is awkward for both of you. It's not fun. It's no wonder that 1 in 3 people actually say they regret their last hookup. And honestly, if you're looking for real connection, stats show that less than 4% of first night hookups actually lead to long-term relationships. So that has really no effort. That has really no correlation in you building a long-term connection with somebody. And you might not be going in with the mindset of it, but honestly, it doesn't work even if you are. Compare that to couples that have waited for sex. I'm not saying till marriage, but just waited in general. They have a much higher chance of developing a relationship. So why the rush? If you really like somebody and you vibe with them, take it slow. It's a lot better. Here's another thing I'm going to say. I'm a business owner. Look, I like making money. I like living a good life. I like having my supercars. I like having my G-Wagon. I like having my multiple penthouses. And I can't do that if I'm out here every night on town banging out random girls. It's the dumbest fucking thing that you can do. It is a complete waste of time. You're getting ready for 30 minutes. You're going out for 2 to 3 to 4 hours. You're out till like 2, 3 a.m. Then you're having sex with her and trying to get to know her for like another 2 hours. And that stays up till 4 or 5 a.m. You barely get any sleep because you're body is filled with alcohol and drugs and substances. You wake up in the morning because you basically had sex with her. You didn't get a good night's sleep. You have a random person in your bed, so the sleep isn't as comfortable. She's not leaving right away. It's an awkward morning. It's a slow start to the day. You are basically fucking up days of your life by trying to hook up with some random girl that only lasts a couple of hours that you're never going to see again. And honestly, you're increasing the chance of STDs. You're basically playing with fire because she could be somebody's girlfriend. She could be somebody's sister. You don't know who you're messing with. And at the end of the day, it's just bad karma, bro. It's the lamest fucking thing that you can do as a guy. But that is honestly not the reason that I'm like freaking out to you about this. Like, I get the STD thing. Use a condom, okay? You're going to be pretty good. But the real reason I'm really scared about this stuff, and I'm warning you guys right now, like as someone that loves you and cares about you, is you can be falsely accused and you can literally ruin your entire life. Look, let's get into this a little bit deeper. Consent is very complex. Legally, consent isn't just a yes or no. It depends on state laws. It depends on if drugs and alcohol were involved. It depends if there was coercion or power imbalance, which typically there is in every single scenario. If a girl's at your house late at night and you're there and she's there with you, there's a power imbalance because it's your house, you know everything. So 99% of the time, it's gonna be a power imbalance. Even if someone does it and they love it in the moment and they say, yes, 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 and everything wonderful happens and they say, I love you, and a week later they change their mind, they can still report it and say that they were raped, they were sexually assaulted, and it can be really bad. If you say something that she doesn't like and she doesn't fuck with you and you guys had sex and she was fucking with you while you guys were having sex and everything like that, she can literally turn back and say, yeah, I was raped. He manipulated me, he lied to me, we were drinking, all that stuff. I was not thinking straight. Boom, it's a rape charge. So even if you have a consensual hookup, it can still get investigated as assault the next day if the person feels violated later on, even like weeks, months on. It doesn't matter. So I'm not saying this is fair. I'm saying this is very real. And it's real on both ends because sometimes people don't come forward because they're scared to talk about it and they're just like, shy about it. And you're in their class and they're in a semester and they want to get away from you before they make this charge. Like, there's a lot of situations where it actually is done to protect the victim itself. But in a situation where you haven't done anything wrong, it can be really bad. And that's specifically what I'm talking about. So let's talk about how alcohol makes it worse. 73% of sexual assaults involve alcohol. If either of you is drunk, legally, consent might not count in some states. Now imagine you're vibing, you're having fun, it's all good, it's mutual, but the next day they don't remember it clearly. Bro, it could be sexual assault, and I'm just keeping it real. Word versus theirs, and I'm keeping it real. You're a guy and they're a girl. Enough said. A lot of times, it's just not going to work out the way that you think it is. And you might face a lot of charges and worse jail time. False accusations do happen. Like I said before, depending on the state, 2 to 10% of all sexual assault reports are false. They're falsely filed, and it sounds small until you realize that there's a lot of people that get accused of this stuff. And the worst part is, once you're accused, the damage is done. Like, here's the thing. Whether you're proven innocent or not, you're still in that situation and your name is stained forever. So I want to talk about some serious real world examples where this has happened. Number 1, Brian Banks, high school football star. I want you to look up these scenarios and really look through these because there's serious stories that happen to real people. And these people weren't all celebrities. They were just regular people. Accused in 2002 by classmate Juanetta Gibson. The outcome was that he wrongfully served 5 years in prison, labeled as a sex offender. She later admitted on video that she made all from the school district. He lost a D1 football scholarship and nearly his entire future. He was eventually exonerated in 2012, but dude, his 20s were stolen, and that will never be something that he can get away from. And he spent 5 years in prison. Like, that changes a person. Number 2, William McCaffrey, New York City, accused in 2005 by Bernie Peguero. I hope I'm saying that name right. She claimed that he raped her after a night out. He was convicted, sentenced to 20 years. In 2009, she admitted she had lied to protect her reputation. So he spent 4 years in prison before being exonerated. Number 3, the Duke lacrosse case, probably one of the most notable cases of all time. 2006, 3 Duke athletes were accused of rape by Crystal Magnum. The media fucking destroyed these guys, crucified them. Their school canceled the season. They lost their scholarships and all their credibility. Months later, DNA evidence proved that none of them even touched her. The DA was disbarred for hiring exonerating evidence. Like, lawyers were fucking cut out. And their name in the mud for media over years. Like, it's still something that people know about. Number 4, Paul Worst Jr., aka White Boy Rick. Not a sexual assault case, but kind of worthy of noting. I wanted to throw this in here. He was falsely painted as a drug kingpin by the media and police as a teen for nonviolent offenses, all tied to corruption and betrayal by the very system he helped. And he speaks today a lot about it, on how easily young men can be put in the system and thrown away. Number 5, Corey Clark, American Idol contestant. I don't think a lot of people remember this one, but I remember this one. Accused of sexual harassment and misconduct during his time on the show. He lost his place on the show and the public destroyed him. Like, his image was destroyed. Later, the situation was proven exaggerated and it was used against him for drama and headlines, and his career just never recovered. And look, I'm not going to go in every single situation here. I could keep naming cases off, but those are 5 big ones. But there's a lot of ones in sports that I would like to talk about. And you know, it breaks my heart to see players lose their careers. A lot of athletes deal with this. If you're a young athlete, dude, stay away from women. I'm telling you, stay away from the one-night stands. Get a girlfriend and just keep it simple. Even recently, there's been some situations like this where you can see, I hope these pop up here where we can talk about these guys. But there's a lot of players. Derrick Rose, probably one of the most notable one. He was accused of gang rape in 2015. Okay, he was found not liable, but his career, his endorsements, his public image took hits. College athletes all across the United States lose their scholarships over shit like this. So, guys, I'm telling you this out of love. Like, this is a lesson for all men out there. It's not about being anti-women. It's not about hating women. It's about protecting yourself in a world where one bad night could turn into a lifetime of you in prison and never seeing your family again, just for a couple hours of pleasure. Hooking up with someone that you don't know isn't alpha. It isn't cool. It's low-key dangerous. You might get an STD. You don't know this girl. She could come in and fuck your place up. You don't know who you're dealing with. You just don't know. I'm telling you this with love, like an older brother. I would hate to see somebody lose their life because they just got a little horny and they went out of town, and then that girl says, hey, it wasn't consensual, when in fact it could be. I'm not here to condone rape. I'm not here to condone sexual assault. It's a very serious matter, and the majority of the time that this does happen, yes, it is serious. And there are some serious consequences for it. And I hope that anyone that's involved in a situation where they're condoning rape or they're condoning violent acts like this, or they're allowing something to happen, or they themselves are involved with it or doing it, I hope they get the maximum fine. I hope they deal with all the penalties that come to them, because I think it's an absolute terrible thing. I love you guys. I care about you guys. I wanted to make this video for all the young guys out there. Thank you so much for sitting here and listening to me. You guys could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me right now, and that means a lot. And I hope that people in your life have these conversations with you, because I don't think they're talked about enough, especially for young men. So love you guys. I care about you guys, and I'll keep making videos like this. Until next time, guys, Sumi out.